So, therefore, we have a slight change from what's next on the programme. I've talked about some general things about the path to Westminster, where the party is, target seats, what we can be doing in the short term. I'd like, though, just to carry on that theme and develop that at a more local level. And so we thought, well, we'll invite someone with some experience of doing this to speak to us next on exactly that topic. So I'd like to invite the chairman of UKIP Beaconsfield, who's also the prospective parliamentary candidate for Beaconsfield, Tim Scott, to speak to us on that theme.
Well, good afternoon, conference. What a great afternoon it is. I seem to remember this is where we had the dinner 3 years ago. So it's great to be back for our regional conference where we had the national conference 3 years ago. You know, I came down last night and I had a very interesting journey down. It took me a bit longer than I thought because we had to go on a detour because the road up ahead was blocked. And looking ahead, I could see all sorts of commotion going on. There was press. There was police, there was people with binoculars and telescopes and these long-angle zoom lenses. Apparently they had just found Britain's last nesting pair of Liberal Democrats. Well, you know, I'm pretty proud of what we've done in UKIP, and I hope you are too. I'm proud, and I'm not complacent, because we've got a lot of work to do. We've come a long way, but I think what has got us to where we are is not going to be enough to get us to where we need to be. But we've got a fantastic base to go forward. And, you know, really, I think our political class really doesn't know what to do with us. I don't think they know what to make of us. I hope you can all read that. If you can't, Ed Miliband is saying to Clegg and Cameron, so are we still saying UKIP is racist? Cameron is saying, no, that was a disaster. We're now saying they were a flash in the pan. I think that's how they like to see us. You know, we're certainly giving the chattering classes something to chatter about, aren't we? And the Twitterati something to tweet about, and the commentariat something to comment on. And you know, the result at Newark? The results at Newark did not halt the UKIP advance. The result at Newark confirmed the UKIP advance. That advance is going to continue. We are not stopping to dig in, let alone retreating. That advance is continuing. I thought I'd show you this. This was the meeting that Nigel did at the Emmanuel Centre in Westminster. Some of you may have gone to that, but actually it's our Facebook page. I'm sure some of you will recognise it. Facebook.com//the UKIP. You'll see the little red arrow there. We now have over 200,000 likes on our Facebook page. So in other words, over 200,000 people are following UKIP's national Facebook page. If you are on Facebook and you haven't liked it yet, now's your opportunity if you've got one of those little gizmos with you, or maybe when you get home. And I gather we have overtaken both Labour and the Liberal Democrats for Facebook likes. And the Conservatives, I'm hearing, are only staying ahead of us by buying extra Facebook likes. I mean, this is what. How have the mighty fallen? They have to threaten their parliamentary candidates with the chop if they won't go to Newark, and they have to buy extra Facebook likes. Oh dear. Okay. Well, you know, didn't we do well? Over 4 million votes for the regional result, and as Nigel says, it's gone beyond the protest vote now. We are starting to build up our own core vote, people who will vote for UKIP regularly. And it wasn't just the 160 council seats that we won, we also had 850 second places, which I think is very, very encouraging as well. And the vote was very evenly split between North and South, and we are also the only party that has elected representation in all 4 countries of our United Kingdom. For the region, our average vote share was 32%. Our average increase from 2009 was 71%. Now, we've already seen this map, but I'll comment on it in a little bit more detail. If you like this kind of thing, there's a blog called something like, I think it's election-data.co.uk. This is where you can get this kind of thing from. Basically, this is a heat map, and the more purple, the better we did. And it's based on percentage of the vote across the region on the 22nd of May. So the more purple, the better we did. So you can see here some very, very encouraging results along the south coast, the Sussex coast, and in Kent. I've had a detailed look at the results right across the region, and I particularly, Janice and I would particularly like to commend the following branch. Well, I say branches, it's actually based on council areas rather than actually necessarily branches or parliamentary constituencies, but you will know who you are. The following branches nearly doubled, the following council areas nearly doubled or more than doubled their vote from 2009. Medway, Thanet, where I'm told we got 90% of the vote in some wards. Milton Keynes, Gravesham, Portsmouth, where we got 6 councillors elected. Shepway, Southampton, West Berkshire, Brighton, Crawley, Dartford, Dover, Maidstone, Sevenoaks, Slough, Swale, Ashford and Aylesbury. So well done to those branches. There were quite wide variations in the result across the region, so forget uniform swing. If we look at vote share, our top vote share was Thanet on a fantastic 46%, our lowest was 13%, and increase in the vote, our best increase in the vote was Dartford with 126%, and our lowest was, so well done Dartford, and our lowest was 36%. Okay. So let's drill down a little bit further. What do we need to be doing? Now this is, I did a talk at the regional conference last year on running an effective branch. So this recovers some of that area. And this is the kind of things that we need to be doing. I think Roger's quite right to say that we need to start lining up target wards and candidates for May 2015. Because I think for many, many branches, the 7th of May, yes, we've got a general election, yes, we must put up PPCs, parliamentary candidates across the region and across the whole country, but I think for many branches, the council elections will be just as important as the general election. And keep the activity going throughout the autumn. And fundraise, as Nigel quite rightly said. Now, here's some very, very simple ideas and areas where you can fundraise, because you're going to have to fundraise. Because for a start, you're going to have to find 500 quid deposit, which, of course, you will all get back, because we will all be winning more than 5% in May next year. I think we had about 400 lost deposits in 2010, costing us a lot of money, but that won't be happening again. So here are some very, very simple reasons, some very, very simple ideas, folks, where branches can be fundraising. I'll give you an example right at the end of my talk. How about this? A meal at a local restaurant or a curry house with a raffle. Pound in the pot every time you meet. Pass the pot round. Everybody puts some money in. Ask better off members. I mean, not everyone in UKIP is wealthy, is well off, but we have one particular member in our branch who gave us who gave the branch £1,000 last year, and he's given us another £1,000 this year. So you should know your membership, you should know where the better off areas, the better off roads are. This particular chap, it came from me ringing him up, asking him if he could help us out He said he didn't think he could because he was quite elderly. I said, okay, so just on the off, I said to him, because I knew he lived in quite a nice road, shall we say, I said, do you think you might be able to support the branch financially? He said, oh, let me have a think about that. I'll speak to my wife and call you back. I thought, well, he's fobbing me off. But an hour later, the phone rang. He said, I've chatted to my wife, I'm going to send you a cheque for £1,000. So, you know, if you ask people for money, you know, it does work. How about standing orders? Getting members to support the branch by standing order. Get your treasurer to make up a standing order, and then, you know, maybe 20 members. Can you find 20 members who can give £2 a month by standing order into your branch bank account? If you can, that's £480 a year, and that's your deposit. That's your £500 deposit, isn't it, for the election? And it's a regular, dependable income that you can rely on. Now, here's a really radical idea for fundraising. Recruit new members. Just make sure you get the cheque first. And can you do something like a Sunday lunch or a barbecue and charge £5 a head? This sort of stuff is really very simple stuff. General elections, start to look ahead, review your past results. Where have you done well? Where have you done not so well? We tend to do better in the less posh areas, to be honest. I don't know what it's like in your branch. Start to build up a war chest, fundraise, make sure you've got some money there. Bolster your committee. Have you got someone who could be treasurer, not just to keep the books, but also do the fundraising as well? I noticed Eastbourne branch, as well as having a chairman, they have a branch organiser. I think that's a fantastic idea. The chairman can't do everything, so to have someone like that who can be the person who organises the leafleting, prints off the maps, make sure that the right people are in the right place at the right time is very good. Communicate with members by letter. Not everyone's on email. Make sure you've got have you got an email list for your branch? We've got about 130 members. We've got emails for about 90. Not everyone's on email. But get yourself an email list for your branch. And it's a good way to communicate with most members relatively quickly. Get out and get seen. Now, talking of getting out and getting seen, here we are, the Saturday before polling day, which would have been what, May the 17th or something. You might remember it was a lovely sunny day, and we had on your right this fantastic trailer that Aylesbury branch had brought, and some members of ours had a horse box. And we drove around the constituency playing one of Nigel's speeches. It was the closing minute from his second debate with Nick Clegg, the Come and Join the People's Army one. And we set it to the Great Escape theme. And Chris Adams and I, and also John Gooding, who's here, and John Fagan, whose horse box it was, we had great fun. Now, not every branch can get one of these big advertising trailers. Not every branch can get their hands on a horse box. But have you got someone in your branch with a trailer? Have you got someone in your branch with a caravan? This kind of thing. Or a van that you can put those were 4x4s on the side of the horse box. I think most branches, whilst you may not be able to come up with this huge advertising trailer, most branches, if you put a bit of thought into it, could do this. I think Jason Kent probably covered this pretty well. Get your boards up, get your signs up. So I won't labour that point. Now, I'm a big fan of street stalls. Hands up if your branch does street stalls. Give us a quick. Okay. Well, okay. A smattering. Well, I think most branches should be doing street stalls. It's not difficult. I mean, here we are. We had a little bit of help from Hillingdon branch there. Some of you might recognise Cliff Dixon there in the middle, chairman of Hillingdon branch. We kind of help each other out occasionally. Street stalls not difficult. You need a table. You need 2 of you, minimum. You need something to go along the front. We've got a purpose-made banner. But actually, if you can't stretch to that, there's a UKIP flag from the UKIP shop that you can buy, which you can put along the front. You need something to go on the table. you need something for people to sign, and Saturday mornings, as long as it's not lashing down with rain. It's a really good way to get out and get seen. Don't forget public meetings. I think we're at a stage now where UKIP is well enough known. We are infamous enough now, I think, to be able to put public meetings on without having to rely on Nigel to get the bums on seats, and I think Nigel's got a lot of other stuff to do. So this was just a public meeting that was put on by in Wallingford in Oxfordshire during the EU election campaign, put on there by the parliamentary candidate Lee Upcraft. Think about doing public meetings, maybe with a neighbouring branch. We're thinking of doing one jointly with Cheshire and Amersham branch with Diane James in the October. And the leafleting, I mean, every person who comes, particularly if you can get an advert in the local paper as well, every person who comes, a good 10 or 20 will know that it's on. Okay, last but not least, I hope you will forgive me if I give a quick plug for this event, but it's an illustration of how branches can raise money, get people involved. If you like it, there's something in it for you. On Sunday the 20th of July, we have Paul Nuttall coming to the Old Bengal restaurant in Beaconsfield. If your branch can get there, junction 2 of the M40, not that far off the M25, if you can book a table of at least 4 and book it in one go, then the £5 margin that we're making on the tickets can be yours. 19 quid, and it is now open for booking at paulnuttallukip.eventbrite.co.uk. My friends, I'm so proud to be in UKIP. I'm so proud of what we've done. I'm now more confident than ever that we can win Westminster seats next year. Let's do it. Thank you.